What's up, Taurus Squad? Welcome to my channel. Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. That's me. We are going to read your tarot cards. So this is going to be a weekly general message for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Anyone and everyone is welcome into this reading, cross-watchers included. I see you spying on those Tauruses. Let's see what messages we can get for Taurus this week. Come into this reading with an open heart, with an open mind. Only take away what resonates with you, what motivates you, empowers you, inspires you. If you are not feeling that way, this might not be your message, but I welcome you to check back another week where maybe the messages will resonate more, okay? You're accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. I feel like your cards are popping up, so we're going to do it. Here we go. For Taurus. Yeah, this one wants to be seen. I'm curious to see what it is. Ooh, all right. I think this is Temperance in this card. It's called Moderation. Here we go. I'm going to keep that in the middle. It just felt right. All right. So I'm going to read this as past, present, future. Actually, let's see. Bottom of the deck. King of Water. Okay, so King of Cups in this deck. This one always makes me giggle because it looks like he's asleep. Sometimes the King of Cups can have a reputation of being a bit of a drinker, right? I'm just going to put it out there. And, you know, everything in quite literally moderation, right? Temperance, because those did come out. Just, you know, just put it out there, take it or leave it. It almost looks like he's gotten really buzzed in the sun. Maybe had one too many beers, right? Anyway, just putting it out there. Always be conscious of your health. Be safe, be smart, right? With that, you may be finally getting a good night's sleep. You could be very... you could have been quite tense about some major change in your life or some new development. And with that, I think it's funny, Capricorn had a very similar message of you can finally exhale. You've reached some sort of milestone or accomplishment. You had to be very quick on your feet. You had to know when it was time to go, but you also had to know when to practice restraint and patience. Queen of Air is... Queen of Swords in this deck, so very Libra-esque energy. Not terribly unsimilar to my Taurus gang out there. You guys are ruled by Venus, so there's a warmth to this queen, but the way she holds her sword out, you wouldn't know it to look at her. She has a lot of empathy, a lot of compassion, but first and foremost, it's like, well, what do you have for me? What are the details? What are the facts? So I think this is you. I have no reason to believe it's not. I could represent interviewing for some sort of job or some sort of boss. Yeah, you know, it's funny. The more I look at this, it felt like you were really trying to impress somebody, especially in the job front, because essentially what this leading to is building and pentacles. Others of you, though, I could totally see this as an opportunity to meet the mark, to interview with someone, or to, I am going to use the word like impress. And I don't necessarily mean that in a superficial sense. It has nothing to do with not being authentic, but I'm almost getting this idea if there was a need or a push, a nudge from the universe for you to sort of put on a show and dazzle these people, because I think it would benefit you. I don't think it has anything to do with, again, not being authentic. But I almost see this as like the judge or the jury or the boss, the interviewee, the person doing the hiring, you know? And you sort of having to dazzle them with your charms, with your wits, with your skills, your talents, abilities. Even if this is romantic, there's something about you're flashing a little thigh, right? You're giving them just enough to keep them interested, but then it comes down to, okay, well, what do you got? So there's this really great balance of kind of fun lightheartedness, but also, it's also very serious. Like, if you're going to invest with this person, it's for the long haul, right? Like, you know, let's talk about the contract details. So some of you may just actually be establishing something more set in stone with any type of partner or contract. Yes, it could be romantic, but it could also be business. Especially if you work in arts and entertainment, whether you're the, you know, entertainment on stage or just, you know, the background crew, arguably just as important, if not more important, right? Yeah, anything involving kind of showbiz. I don't get that message a lot. And I mean, as you can see, this card is very unique. It doesn't exist in most other tarot decks, with this depiction anyway. Yeah, there's something kind of actor, actress, vaudeville. It's making me think of cabaret, very like tongue-in-cheek, very kind of sassy and, yeah, sort of like temptation. Like, don't show them too much, but just enough to keep them interested. I think that has a lot to do with your interviewing strategy right now if you are looking for a job. But if I'm reading past, present, future, there was a seriousness, but from that, it gets lighter. The weight is slowly more lifted, and you're allowed to be silly. And then with that, you find a nice little home. You nuzzle into your position, and it feels like you've met your work family, your soul tribe, a new group of friends, meeting your new neighbors, fitting in with some sort of establishment or association. Yeah, it's like you're nesting. You're finding home, but you had to put yourself out there, and maybe that was a little bit uncomfortable for you. Maybe you had to give a performance or a presentation where it was a spectacle. It was all eyes on you. But even if that's the case, even if you are sort of in that in-between of self-doubt or a little bit anxiety, nerves, to me, this is like you're going to crush it. You're going to hit it out of the ballpark. So I wouldn't anticipate or fear it too much. But with that, I would take it seriously because I think a lot is riding on this in terms of your future. And I don't say that to add more weight and more pressure. I mean, you guys already know that, I would assume, if this is your message. I would say, yes, you need to take it seriously, but you need to remember to breathe and to have fun because that is the winning combination here. Serious, but not too serious. I know, it's contradictory, but it's not, though. I'm wanting to look at how this is leading in here. Yeah, in terms of what you need to release, your lack of confidence. You're a powerhouse. You're presenting as the Knight of Fire, the Knight of Wands this week, so any fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag, or let's just say the Wands group, the King, Queen, Knight of Wands, they are bright burning lights, fire, it draws the eye. I always use the metaphor, you can sit around a campfire with your friends for hours, and even if you're not saying anything, you could all just look at that fire. It's oddly fascinating, right? Our fascination with fire in ancient times, or years ago, I guess I should say. You don't have to do much to impress them, and I think I just keep wanting to say you're a powerhouse. You bring a lot to the table, and yet I think you question yourself a lot. I think you may lack confidence, and you're being told not to. There's something so silly and fun and easy, explorer, adventurer. That is the Knight of Fire, and yet in this particular deck, he's just so serious. It looks like I don't know, it's like I picture you driving home from your interview and beating yourself up while you're sitting in traffic, like, oh man, I shouldn't have done this, I should have said that. And the thing is, again, this is general readings, but most of you, whatever this opportunity is, if you show up, and bring your A game, you will reap the reward. I mean, these cards are just so happy and fun. In fact, I'm kind of struggling to give you a message that has more depth than you just need to believe in yourself. But maybe that is your message this week. Maybe you guys know that and you just need to be reminded of it. Believe in yourself. The universe does, right? Do you? Do you, Taurus? And last but not least, what do you need to embrace or lean into? That you do measure up. Understanding that you belong here. You do fit in. You're not the oddball. You're not the odd man out. I feel like team dynamics, group projects, collaboration are very likely going to be a big part of your week or in the coming weeks. So jump on in. The water's fine. Don't be intimidated by, again, groups of people, a new network, new colleagues, new friendship groups, new sports leagues, whatever it is, you fit in just fine. I just think, again, it's that little like insecurity that may flare up every now and then. Like, get on in there, have fun. That's what the Knight of Fire wants to do. Ironically, his face to me just looks so serious and withdrawn, and maybe this is sort of stemming from something from your childhood where you felt like you were the oddball or you were always excluded, or your older group of siblings didn't include you, or this or that. I don't think it's necessarily true, but it may be a long-held belief that you're starting to dissect and analyze with the Queen of Swords. Well, is this my truth? Is it their truth? Am I living out a narrative that really isn't who I am or what I want to be? And also projecting sort of your inner fear onto what other people are thinking about you. I think that's very common. I think everybody does it. But the minute we become aware of it, we can kind of snap out of it and be like, okay, you know what? I do measure up. I am going to get in there and get in on the fun, Like, that's really what this is. This can be playful banter, playful competition, especially if you work in something like, sales. Yes, it's competitive, but, in theory, it's not cutthroat competition, which I would even argue Tauruses can be really killer salespeople because being a fixed earth sign, earth having a lot to do with material goods and material success, fixed signs are all about dedication and maintaining and maintenance. It's not half in, half out. It's like if you're in it for the long haul, even if it takes, some strides forward to get to the goal, to get to the end game. You're a force to be reckoned with. You're a powerhouse. That's just what I keep getting this week. I'm sort of curious about this. I'm not exactly sure how this ties in. So this is kind of, You have a little bit of air energy coming through here, maybe with a boss or a judge or something legal. Maybe you work in the legal field. When I say like dance around the courtroom, put on a show, that makes me think of Chicago, right? Like Richard Gere's character. And have you guys seen Chicago? Most of you probably have. Yeah. Dazzle them with your words. And they'll never catch wise. Isn't that a song? Give them the old razzle dazzle. Anyway, that sounds kind of sexual, doesn't it? Little Queen of Air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, energy coming on your foundation, your platform, where you are growing from. It could be what you're growing away from or what you are adding to. And then King of Cups, typically water energy. It could be a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces coming through. Maybe some of you are changing jobs or changing roles, changing leadership, changing positions of authority. Why is in fact, let's clarify it. Okay, I think I know what this is. For most of you, I think that whole metaphor of, put on a show, put your best foot forward, show off your skills and talents. This could just be a metaphor updating your resume, showing yourself off in a way that makes people excited, something that catches their eye. It seems like a lot of you may have come from a workplace or some sort of environment where you were ignored or not valued enough. People didn't see your potential or just chose not to capitalize on it or utilize it, to benefit you both. It's almost like some of you may have a really great fun artistic streak and you were trying to incorporate that in your life or your work and everyone was like, yeah, no, we're good, thanks. And you're like, oh, but like part of that would be so exciting for me to contribute my talents in these different areas, to mix it up, to change it up, and to incorporate more of what you're already good at. It seemed like for a long time somebody passed on the opportunity. And so I don't know if you're physically leaving the job, but a lot of you are understanding, no, like my happiness is important here too. My creative contributions, my skills, my talent, honoring my inner child. Maybe some of you work with children. It's like, all right, like if I'm going to offer you my services and you're going to pass them up and, fall asleep, right? It's like, I'll take my business elsewhere. I think you do. And I think you find roaring success with it. This could be a transition from career or, possibly relationships. But yeah, the other one, it's not to say it was bad. It was just kind of a snooze fest. No offense, but it was something where it wasn't emotionally fulfilling for you. Cups, right? Our heart space, our emotion, our intimate relationships, our intuition, our psychic abilities. I don't know why I'm wanting to say this, but it's like there's a weird mismatch here, and there's someone who missed out on an opportunity to utilize what you offer, what you bring to the table in this relationship. They just didn't see it, or they weren't dumb enough to understand what was right in front of them. And so I think you're moving on. But the thing is, I just keep wanting to say, you find a really great collaboration here, or a really great group of individuals to work with who not only like your ideas and are intrigued by them, they want to implement them and use them. It's almost like you have the I'm getting sort of architecture type things. Like you have the design plans, you have the blueprints, and they're wanting to utilize your ideas to tell them how to structure it. People listen to you. People want to hear your ideas more. You're being encouraged to participate more in this group, even though you may be a little bit shy or a bit of a wallflower. This looks sick. The sun. I'm not going to tell you. That's a great card. Everybody loves the sun, right? It's light. It's happy. It's usually a naked baby riding on a horse, riding on the back of a horse. It's very lighthearted. Here we've got some little lion cubs and cats singing and dancing, and that just looks adorable. Dancing has come up a lot in this. All right, Taurus, that's what I got for you this week. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you next Wednesday for more tarot. Bye, guys.